It's been a while since I did a Ring of Honor DVD review or talked about Ring of Honor. Haven't really bought any DVDs from them for a very long time, and I actually have this DVD that's kind of collecting dust on my shelf that I haven't actually watched, but I was thinking about opening it, maybe putting it in the DVD player over the weekend and checking it out. So this is SuperCard of Honor from April 1st, 2017. As you can see on the cover here, the main event was the Hardy Boys defending the World Tag Team titles against the Young Bucks. It was kind of like the dream match. I think for so many years, everybody was comparing the Young Bucks to the Hardy Boys. So it was kind of like the dream match that all the wrestling fans wanted to see, and they finally got it with Ring of Honor. So again, this was a ladder match. So we're going back to like April 1st, 2017. So this card usually around WrestleMania, like they'll have like a lot of independent shows will have like a wrestling event near wherever venue WrestleMania is. So at the time this was 2017. This WrestleMania was in Florida. So Ring of Honor, they kind of do that because they know that a lot of wrestling fans are coming in from all around the world. So they just want to try to get those fans to their show. So they've done that a couple of years, and this is like one of their big shows of the year. So this is the back cover here. You get to see kind of the card, back and who was in Ring of Honor at that time. We'll open it up. We got two discs. Think about DVD wrestling DVDs nowadays. It's kind of like a lost art form, or a lot of people don't collect wrestling DVDs. Especially with the companies now. WWE has everything's now like streaming services. Like WWE has the WWE Network. Ring of Honor has the Honor Club that they launched last year. Impact has Impact Plus. So nowadays, collecting DVDs is not like it's not the same, and it's you could just have that streaming service and watch it through there. But I still kind of like getting the ring, like getting the DVDs, especially like especially always love the Ring of Honor covers. So for this one, we're just gonna go over some what was going on at Ring of Honor in 2017. I think again the big thing was when they brought the Hardy Boys in for that brief. It was a brief run, maybe like a month or 2 months. The Hardy Boys, they just ended their run in Impact. I believe it was over a contract, or their contract expired. And then Impact had that lawsuit with Matt Hardy, preventing him from using the broken Matt Hardy character. So that was like a long issue that they had. It was eventually resolved, but at the time they were preventing him from using that gimmick, and that gimmick was really over at that time. It was really bizarre. It was different, but it was it kind of renewed his career, and he would go on to WWE. They would go on. Actually, I think the day after the show, they show up at WrestleMania, and they win the tag titles there, and he was never like he didn't use the broken character. I think they called him. I think eventually down the road they called him Woken Matt Hardy. But the thing with Vince McMahon, I think Vince really just wanted the original Hardy Boys how they were in WWE in their early careers. So he never really understood the broken character. So we're gonna go over here, look at the card here. We got pretty much Adam Cole's last run or one of his last matches in Ring of Honor against Marty Scurll. They kicked Adam Cole out of the Bullet Club. Marty Scurll was the replacement. So this was kind of like his last match. And of course, Adam Cole went to NXT. We also got Cody versus Jay Lethal, the rematch from Final Battle of last year. It was like kind of like Cody's beginning, like his first couple of months with Ring of Honor. We have Punishment Martinez versus Frankie Kazarian. You look at a lot of these guys now, either they're in AEW or they're in NXT. It's kind of sad, if you look at the state of Ring of Honor now. Christopher Daniels defending the Ring of Honor World Championship against Dalton Castle. Whew. I always say, like, and when I look back, at wrestling, like my favorite company, I haven't really kept track of Ring of Honor in the last year or so. It's just because like everybody I liked, or AEW or NXT. But looking back, I always say that the best wrestling company and producing the best wrestling was Ring of Honor, and between the years of 2017 to 2017, that 4 year gap, I think they had like probably the best wrestlers and they had the best matches. So definitely that period, I always enjoy. I know a lot of people think about other Ring of Honor eras like the Samoa Joe, Bryan Danielson era, CM Punk, and they were good too. I enjoyed those that time, but there's something about that 2013 to 2017 run, like that 4 year gap. I think was like probably what Ring of Honor was. Could have been like if they had the money, they could have been the number one wrestling company. They had some really good shows. I was lucky enough to be at like see a Ring of Honor live a couple of times. Yeah, this is like back in DVD back in 2017. I think the thing about this one, it was like the big like dream match between the Hardys and the Young Bucks for so many years. Wrestling fans comparing the Young Bucks to the Hardys. Oh, they're the young Hardy Boys, and just the way that they are, just the way that they're presented. And we always wanted that dream match between the Hardys and the Young Bucks, and we've eventually got it here. And it wasn't like we were going to get anywhere else. Definitely not in WWE, and I don't think the Hardys. I don't think the Young Bucks would never gone back to Impact. And look at now at wrestling. Just look at wrestling nowadays. AEW, now that Matt Hardy's in AEW, and he has that that bond, that relationship with the Young Bucks, and Jeff is still with WWE. He'll probably finish up his contract. But he knows that when he finishes up his contract, he'll have a place he'll have a spot in AEW, and the DVDs just fell out. Gotta be careful with these DVDs. Sometimes if they're loose in the case, but yeah, this show. I'm thinking about maybe watching it over the weekend. I definitely wanted to see the the Young Bucks that match. That ladder match. I heard it was really good. So just gonna check that out. But I just wanted to do a kind of like a quick just talk about Ring of Honor. It's been a while since I've had a Ring of Honor DVD on the channel. So here we go.